everybody, this is Chuck, and thanks for stopping by the channel. Today we're going to have a little discussion regarding my anvil, some things I did for it here, and a little bit on my forge. As you know, I'm just a tool nut. I don't know much about blacksmithing or knife making or anything like that, but I made a couple of tools here for my anvil, and I thought I would show it to you. So let me reposition the camera and we'll talk about it. Okay, Howie? Good boy. Well, the first item you may have saw in the lead into the video here. Two things here to start with. Hopefully the sun's not blowing it out. Basically, I did a drawing, and then I took that drawing and 3D printed for a prototype. Much simpler than machining something. And what I made was a piece for the hardy hole, and it's a bending fixture. Drops down into the hardy hole, and then you basically have 1-inch pins that could be set wherever. I have a 1-inch pin that I've turned down to a 3/8 radius, otherwise it's 3/4 inch diameter. And then I have some more pins that I've done in different sizes. So it gives a lot of variation on the use of this tool. Now, I didn't design this. There's a fella, I think it's G.L. Tongs. I happened to see the design on the web, and of course I had to build one. The other thing I did, just to give more versatility, is I made a sleeve that goes over this one, so it's a 1-inch radius or 2-inch diameter. And then I made another one with a sleeve in it, and this one is a 1.5 radius or 3 inches. So it gives me a lot of different options for bending. Now you're going to ask me, Chuck, what are you going to bend? Hell, I don't know. Like I said, I'm a tool nut, and I just love having tools available for when I do need them. So I'm not even going to give you a bending demonstration because all I'm going to do is heat up a piece of metal and make a bend. It's useless if you're not building something. But let me go on to the next thing that I made for the anvil here. I'm really happy about, and we'll bring you right back. Well, the next thing I made for my anvil, a friend of mine gave me a bucket full of these drill bits out of like a roto hammer. And so taking that, unfortunately it's the wrong size for the pitchard hole there. But I put a sleeve on it so it's the right size and bent it. So I now have a hold down on the anvil. There's a little sample of a piece of material on there, and it's locked in there. So kind of excited about that for when the job comes up where I need it. And then just give it a whack. Come on, Charlie. And release it. So that turned out nice. It was a fun little job to make, and the anvil will be ready when the job comes. Next thing I wanted to show you was here on my forge. I'm going to move the camera over. Now you can see the card it's on there. My son works at the hospitals, and he visited the dumpsters, and so he ended up picking up 4 of these carts. So I have one that the forge is sitting on here, and what I wanted was a slide here that I could pull in and out for when you need to support something as it's in the forge. So I have to show you. There's a couple of samples. I had the bright idea first of making this unit where it would go in and there would be downturned legs that would butt up against here and would bite so they couldn't pull all the way out. And it was a failure. So I ended up welding in a couple of square tubes that, whoops, still there, hit the old camera. A couple of square tubes where this guy slides on right there. So that worked out really nice. So, like I said, I'm a total amateur at any kind of forging, but I got some of my tools ready for it, which I'm happy to do. The other thing I learned, and maybe you guys can put it in the comments, I was running the forge on just one of the burners, and I was told that you shouldn't do that because the second one becomes a chimney. But I also learned that if you close the shutter, it should be fine. Maybe if anybody's got some feedback on that, that would be great. The only other thing I did, and I'll show a picture of it, is my anvil height. My anvil height for me was actually too low. So I ended up putting a block underneath it, and I got a couple of photos of that. I went stupid, or crazy, I guess, I don't know. And I wanted 3 points of bearing so that it would be sitting, it would adjust to any place where it sits. And so I opted to dado out the bottom, rather, so a 3/8 depth, rather than just putting pieces of 3/8 under the underside. And you'll see a photo of that. Okay, well that's it for the anvil and for the radius bender there, and I hope you enjoyed. All right, we'll catch you on the next video. You know, share, comments are always welcome. And as I always say, I really appreciate your time stopping by the shop. Take care.